All right, we're here with Everette. He's going to tell us what he does here at Blue Crew Divers, when he started diving, and the reason he loves scuba.
Well, my name is Everette Ingram, and I am a course director, instructor trainer with Blue Crew Divers. And I began diving when I turned 30 years of age. And what happened is I was getting ready to move over to the Middle East, living in Israel, and a fraternity brother of mine said, hey, I can't in good conscience let you move and have the Red Sea in your backyard and you not know how to dive. So that was my introduction to scuba diving.
All right. Now, as you take a look a little bit into the future here, what are some of the goals you have in scuba?
Well, since I've already reached the highest point in diving that you can in PADI, what I'm looking at now is how I can help other people on that path so that they can become instructors, dive masters, but follow that professional career or even a technical career as a part of what they're doing. So that really is the passion to diving. I'm an educator as well. And so to help share, that transformative experience to other people and get them excited. There's nothing like all of a sudden you go to a location and where did you hear that from? And my instructor taught me, and come to find out, I was the instructor of that person who's instructed somebody else. So now you become the grandfather or the great-grandfather as your legacy lives on and you begin to see the impact that you're making in diving. And we just hit a wave right there. So the boat's not capsized, we're okay, got the BCD on, we know how to swim, so we're in good shape.
Okay. All right. So considering the different types of diving there are, what's your favorite type or style of diving?
I love deep diving, technical deep diving, where I'm able to go even up to 100 meters, over 300 feet. And to be able to explore that part of the ocean that only the smallest percentage have been able to because of the rigors that are involved and the importance of learning how to dive technically, which, believe it or not, is even that much more safer than recreational diving.
Now, if you look back at all the dives you've had, I'm sure there's been hundreds.
Thousands.
Do you have a most memorable dive?
Well, it's hard to really pull one out because there are quite a number that are memorable for different reasons. But one that comes to mind is I was teaching a student. He was 15, 16 years of age, and we were in the Red Sea. And at that particular location, we did our confined water training in the ocean. And so a number of us, we had many people on the boat. The course director that I was working with, he was training a dive master candidate, so they were doing the skill circuit, so those of you understand what that's all about. And most of the people were going off on a shipwreck to do that dive. And I had a brand new person that was learning to dive, and we were in the last part of the confined training for the open water course. And he was doing the skill where we have to take our BCD off and then put it back on underwater. And then that was going to finish that up, and then we could go off on dive. Well, I had just finished putting my BCD back on, and he has got his off now, and he's starting to put it back on, and I see his face. It doesn't matter that he's got a mask on. His eyes are just got big like that. His mouth is open, and I'm like, I hope that regulator doesn't fall. And he's pointing. Well, at that point, my back was to the depth of the ocean, and where his was to the shoreline. And I'm thinking, what's going by, a turtle or something like that? Because with his training, he'd already seen a lot of great things. He had seen turtles, he had seen manta rays even. And I'm like, what's he going to see? And I'm like, so I turned my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, connect this thing up really, really quick. Because what had just gone past, and I've been diving for 20 years and had never seen it, it was a whale shark. Like, these animals, these creatures, they know when you don't have a camera. They just, we're going to come up to you and show you. You've got a camera, we're going to go hiding. So we all get back to the boat, the course director and the dive master candidate, and myself and my open water candidate, we're talking about this whale shark, and everybody else had gone on the ship like, we didn't see a whale shark. You must be lying. And you could tell from the reaction of our two students, they're like, this was phenomenal because neither one of us had actually seen one diving for so many years, and you're like, it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So I was teaching and doing something you would never expect in 15 feet of water to see a whale shark go by.
Wow, talk about setting the bar high for a new student on what they're going to see. Now, when you think about all the travel you've done and the places you've been, do you have a dream destination that you've been to that you want to get back to? Or is there a place out there that you haven't been that you're dying to get to?
Well, I have dove in almost every ocean around. I've been in Iceland. I've lived in the South Pacific, dove all over the Red Sea, been in the South Atlantic, and in different places, the Caribbean as well as the Mediterranean. But there's a spot that I want to look at that I haven't made to yet, and we were planning on going, and then all of a sudden, COVID decides to disrupt the travel plans. So I think the place that I'd like to go is Palau, which is in the northern part of the Pacific Ocean.
Now, focusing on the teaching piece a little bit, what do you love about teaching scuba or working in the industry?
I like the idea of seeing the light bulb go off. All of a sudden, when you see that they are no longer just focusing on, I've got to do this and this step and this step, and now that the shoe is on the different foot, or the fin, I should say, to keep the metaphor correct, and they have got to the fun part of it. Now it's not, I'm the teacher and I've got to do everything correct, but they start to enjoy the teaching aspect and seeing how their people are understanding the concepts and beginning to get it. But to help the new instructors especially, like, how do I get this across, or how do I do this particular skill? And what we've seen many, many times, they're seeing for the first time, it's like, have you considered, I never thought about that. And of course they think, wow, you must be the smartest thing. No, I've just had to handle it a whole bunch of times already. But just being able to transmit that information in a way that they can understand it and then help their students to grab hold of it.
All right, we're going to wrap things up with some rapid fire questions here to try to get to know you a little bit better. You ready?
Ready.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Hamburger.
Your favorite drink?
Of course. Sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Do you have a favorite island?
Favorite island would probably be Fiji.
All right. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Air Force One.
Okay. Love that. Harrison Ford. Favorite song?
Favorite song? I like Katy Perry's Roar.
Okay. Salt water or fresh water?
Salt water.
Salt water. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Used to be night, but now I'm more of a morning person.
Okay. And what's the color of your toothbrush?
It is white.
White. All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right, let's go diving.
Yeah.